Picture this. It's 9 a.m. A vendor flips what they think is a maintenance breaker, and suddenly the access control panel and a network closet lose power. Within 30 minutes, a whole floor can't badge in. Alarms flash on the BAS, and tenants swarm reception.
Welcome to Built, Wired, and Secured. I'm Alex Morgan.
Today, we're talking about resilience drills, how to make them realistic, safe, and actually useful. Michael, James, thanks for joining.
Good to be here. That scenario is exactly the kind of cascade we want to avoid. Tenants feel it first, and operations scramble second.
I've seen that pattern too many times. It looks small at the start, and then snowballs, because a single undocumented dependency wasn't on the checklist.
Let's start with why tabletop exercises keep missing those dependencies. Is it convenience, false confidence, or both?
Both. Tabletop is cheap and safe, so teams default to it. The problem is it stays high level. We lose power, we fail over, and it doesn't test the brittle handoffs, vendor remote access, MFA delays, or a UPS that doesn't actually carry the right loads.
And the blind spot I see is this.
Right.
Teams run tabletop sessions and everyone's nodding, but they never test the live wiring between BAS, UPS, and access control. When something goes wrong, those assumptions fall apart.
Exactly. From an operational standpoint, the drills that reveal risk are the ones that exercise the human and vendor handoffs, not just the procedure on paper.
So when you design a drill, where do you start? What's the first question you ask?
Start with objectives. What behavior are you validating? Vendor coordination, cross-system failover, tenant continuity, staff response times. Pick one or two and keep the scope tight.
Tight scope. So instead of the whole campus, maybe a single BAS controller and its network path.
Exactly. And define measurable success criteria up front. Don't let "it worked" be the outcome. Set targets like controller recovered within X minutes or remote vendor access reestablished in Y minutes.
Let's talk realism versus safety. Live tests uncover real failure modes, but they can cause outages. How do you tier tests to manage that tension?
Tiered approach. Simulate in lab. Validate in isolated zones. Then run targeted live tests during low-impact windows. Always have rollback procedures and a clear emergency stop that any technician can use.
Preventive maintenance matters here. If drills are part of your PM cadence, teams know the steps and surprises drop. But full disclosure, I disagree with teams that hide behind simulations forever.
I'm not sure I buy never run live. Where's the line, Michael?
There's a middle ground. Live tests are necessary for critical paths, but they must be time-boxed, limited to zones, coordinated with tenants and vendors, and executed with contingency services in place.
Let me give a concrete BAS example. We run AHU failover in a staged sequence.
Go on. What do those stages look like?
Step 1. Simulate sensor loss in the lab. We emulate the sensor so logic and alarms can be validated without moving air.
Wait, simulate how? Are you blocking the analog signal or changing the backnet object value?
We typically block the sensor feed at the controller emulator, so the controller behaves as if the sensor is gone. That reveals control logic quirks without risking HVAC operation.
Step 2. Force a controller swap in an isolated rooftop unit during overnight hours. Step 3. Bring an adjacent zone online under supervision. Each step has a single owner and a rollback plan.
And that sequence once found what? Vendor scripts that didn't restart properly?
Exactly. A vendor's restart script didn't bring the service back fully. Tabletop wouldn't have revealed that. It took a staged live step to surface the problem.
From tenant coordination, my non-negotiables are a short pre-test briefing, written consent for critical tenants, and a contact tree with escalation times. We once lost 20 minutes because a vendor's MFA blocked remote access.
Having an alternate contact saved us.
Those small things, MFA, a wrong contact, bite you when time matters. James, what about staffing? On-site versus remote?
Keep the on-site team lean and decisive. 2 technical leads, a facilities manager, and a tenant liaison. Remote command brings vendor leads and network. Too many people on site create confusion. Too few create blind spots.
And practice the communication protocol. Drills are where you test who says what and when. It prevents escalation and preserves tenant trust.
Okay, pulling this into 3 direct actions someone can do this quarter. James?
1. Build and maintain an asset-driven scenario list. Base scenarios on real dependencies, UPS feeds, network paths, vendor access, and update it after every incident and drill.
2. Define measurable success criteria and communication protocols before you test. Pin down minutes to restore, acceptable alarms, and who notifies tenants. 3. Tier your tests. Simulate, isolate, then run targeted live drills with rollback plans and tenant notice.
Quick metrics to track. Time to detect, time to recover, vendor response time, number of escalations to business continuity, and unknown dependencies found. That last one is painful but invaluable.
After each drill, run a blameless review. Capture surprises, update SOPs, and put emerging PM tasks straight into the maintenance schedule.
Also, lock vendor commitments in writing for drills, response windows, escalation contacts, and remote access methods. Expectations reduce drama when things actually fail.
For folks who want a fast start, GDS Technology has a resilience drill checklist and scenario templates you can download. Sample success criteria, tenant notification language, and staged test sequences for BAS and access control. We'll link to it in the show notes.
The best day in operations is the one nobody notices. Drills turn surprise into practice, and practice keeps the lights on.
Ask yourself, what breaks if this goes down? And build a test that answers that question directly, not politely. That's where you find real risk.
That wraps up this episode of Built, Wired, and Secured. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Until next time, make sure the systems you manage are built to last, wired with intention, and secured for the real world.